So let me share with you the entire package in the agenda that we kind of use to help practice owners. So number one, you're going to get 10 slots basically for the price of 5 to train your staff that you have now. Or if you don't have 10 staff, you'll have those empty spots that you don't fill right now. You'll have those available from now until Affinity to use them. All right, so you can take TMR level 1, 2, and 3 at the price listed below. Or you can just have TMR level 1 for your staff. Again, you get 10 spots, and you get to have that where the limit of that doesn't, or the time frame of that doesn't expire. So if you have only 5 right now, and 5 more to come train later, they'll be able to have access to the platform then. Right? Each of these things can be done either on a weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We offer it once a month, or they can do it at their own self-pace as a home study. We use the same exact system. They get the same exact access to me. They have a Voxer, which is a walkie-talkie app that they get to ask me questions. They get to send me in their forms that we do every session. It really hones them into being able to understand the process of total motion release. Right? Okay, so once you've purchased the package, once you said, yes, this is what I want to do, right? Not only do you get the TMR level 1, 2, or 3, or just level 1, but you also get TMR manual therapy, which is a 2-hour web class, and TMR Spine, which is, we actually show how to TMR another technique. A popular one we're going to do is McKenzie, and also Williams flexion. Okay, so once that's been purchased, we now have to get your staff excited. If you're like me with my staff, they don't necessarily, none of us necessarily like change. We resist it a little bit, right? And when you come from above and say, this is what we're going to do, there's a little back off. Well, I want to take that away. And how do we do that? Well, I found the best way is to have a lunch and learn with them and expose them to total motion release in a really cool way. I actually show them videos and I say, how would you guys treat this? And then I show them us treating a different part of the body. And then I say, how would you treat this one? And maybe it's a jaw and I'm treating them with legs. And it makes them just go, what? How's that working? They're first skeptical. But when I show them like 5 or 6 or 7 of them, they all of a sudden go, wait a second. They start getting interested. It's just, oh my gosh, I didn't know this works like this. I didn't know you could do that on the body and heal things. All of a sudden they feel like they lack something, right? And then once we've shown those videos, we then say, hey, would you guys like to now see it work on yourselves as a staff? And we take them through a very quick way in which we get them seeing where they're out of symmetry and putting them back into balance very quickly, not using the area of injury, right? So that's the first step we have with your staff. We get them saying, yes, I want to go forward with total motion release. Now, what we then recommend is within 30 days, sometimes we say 60 days, we'd like them to take TMR level 1, and we'd like to have a meeting afterwards with them, like maybe a week after they've been able to practice it as a group so that they can go, oh, this is kind of cool, but I'm running into these obstacles. Or, hey, it didn't quite flow as smoothly as I thought. All right? Now, we then will allow them to do like the manual therapy and the TMR spine. We'll have another meeting with them, see how they're doing about 2 weeks after the first one. And then usually during that one, we start introducing the standards. What is the patient completion percentage of your current clinic? All right, and then let's set standards so that we all know what we're doing. This really gets them on board like, whoa, you're serious about us doing this. Most of the time people take continuing education classes and they either get to use it or don't get to use it. But when you see the 7 steps and it can be used for anything, now it's going to be your job to, hey, let's help put this into place. I'm going to do that for you, right? There's no sense of you being a novice at this and trying to explain it to your staff when I'm kind of more of an expert at it. Wouldn't you rather have me do this? And again, there's no extra charge for this. So then we usually have another meeting after that. We get all the standards, make sure they're understood. They're progressive. You don't start at the highest things. It's a gradient step that we work with them. Right now, so that's phase 1. Phase 2 is now just time to practice. Get out there, do it on your patients, do TMR on your patients, do your current technique with it being TMR'd on your patients. Get used to the 7 steps. Get used to the form. Get used to the standards. Right? And we'll meet a couple times to make sure that's happening. And we'll also, let's say somebody says, I have this difficulty with this patient. Can you come see the patient with me? We'll Zoom on it. We'll film the patient. And we'll, again, we're going to have a training vault for you. So when we do the TMR intro training, it's going to be in the vault for your other new hires to watch. Hey, when we have a meeting with your staff, boom, we're going to have that in the vault. All right, when we have Zoom patient trainings, or when we treat a patient, boom, that's going to be in the vault. We want it so that any future hire can just simply go to the training vault and get the education without you having to spend time with it. You'll know that, hey, they are now flowing and fitting into your system that's already in place. In other words, a lot of times people worry that, well, we'll get this system in place, people will leave, and then people will come in and it'll be gone because, now I've got to pay an extra whatever amount of money to redo these people. No. And you'll be able to keep that training forever, even beyond your 10 people, right? So you'll be able to keep that, at least that part of it. You may have to pay for additional TMR seminars, but as far as the training, that'll always be there, all right? And again, remember, you have up to 10 spots to fill with all of this, okay? Now, so what we do the last phase 3, which happens to be about 60 to 90 days, is now they're going to take level 2 and level 3 of TMR, get some really deep understanding of it. We're going to handle any obstacles that they're having within maybe their group, maybe that they're having with patients, maybe they're having just with themselves of trying to implement this. It does happen, everything takes a gradient step to become really good at. And we're going to get the flows ironed out. So we're going to get with your staff and we're going to begin showing them, like, how do you get buy-in on the very first visit? How do you quickly demo why you're doing this on the patient? How do we do? We're going to demo the entire patient experience through their eyes and what it feels like to have a roadmap family, to really know, hey, you're just not pulling this stuff out of your hat, but everybody, no matter whether they have to see one therapist or they have to see multiple therapists in your staff just because of their schedule, right? And then we're going to progress the patient completion so that you'll take it from people maybe only attending 6 visits all the way up to 11, 14 visits. So again, guys, this is what I offer to my PT owners that take advantage of the continuing education training. Now, that's a lot to digest in a video. So, hey, text me, all right? It's right there below. It shows you the text. I love talking about this. I love sharing with it. But it's important for you guys to tell me about your situation, about your staff, about how they work, and so that I can kind of discuss with you whether I think this is going to be the right plan for them or not. So there's a really neat group. I mean, if your people work well together, then this is going to really rock and roll. I know you may have some outliers here or there, but usually we can bring them on board pretty quickly once, again, we gradiently step this through your place. So again, thanks, gang, for taking a peek. Again, I'd love to help train your staff. These videos, I hope they've helped you to see how you can implement yourself, getting your patient completions a lot better. And again, most of the time that can happen within 6 weeks. So take care, gang, and thanks a lot for listening.